Hi, everyone. Today we're going to discuss the change order request module within ProNovos. The first thing is you can get to the change order request module by looking at the project navigation under financials and selecting change order request. When you select the CO request, you'll be brought to the change order request landing page where you can see a list of all of your outstanding change orders on the project. You can see the title, the status, the number of days ago it was submitted or approved, the date it was submitted, the date it was resolved, and then the impact to the overall schedule, the contract amount, and the cost. The first thing you can do is you can go to the settings tab and you can set up the settings you want to use for each individual change order request that you will create. This will include being able to set the different labor rates for different roles on a project. You can assign the profit and overhead markup, whether it's self-performer, subcontract work, or other. And you can choose what to apply that markup rate to, whether it's labor, material, equipment, or subcontractors. You can also include any additional percentages that may be important to take into account when creating a change order. That can include things like tax rate, bond rate, or any other miscellaneous items. And just like the profit and overhead, you can choose which fields to apply that markup to. Once you've set your settings, you can save and go back to the change order request landing page. To create a new change order, hit the Add New button. You'll then need to give your change order request a title, and that will create the change order within the system. The first thing you can do is go in and set the status, who you want to assign that change order to, the number of additional schedule days you'll need to complete that change order, and then you can begin to add your line items for the additional cost associated with that change order. You'll select new line item, give the line item a title, and you can enter the different labor, material, equipment, and subcontractor line items for each. So I can go in here and put in 40 hours for my superintendent, 40 hours for my foreman, 80 hours for my journeyman, and 120 hours for my apprentice. And you'll see it will use the labor rate that we set in the settings, and any of those additional markups that we included in the settings will be applied as well. So I can see I have my bond rate for 2% and my profit and overhead markup for 15%. You can then do the same thing for material, equipment, and subcontractors. Once you've added in all your associated costs, you can close the line item and you can see the total right here. You can add as many line items as are necessary for the change order. You can also add any comments or qualifications that are important to keep into account when it's submitting the change order request. Once you're done creating your change order, you can either email directly to your client, and you can either choose to include the line item breakdown or not include the line item breakdown and only show the top level cost amount. Or if you don't want to email directly, you can convert to a PDF and save to your desktop. Once you've submitted the change order, you can go back into a change order and you can kind of create any revisions to include any modifications that are required for that change order. Finally, you can download a change order request log that you can either email directly to your client or use for internal purposes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and that is a quick overview of the change order request module in ProNovos.